Atomic.
What started off with 32 cars is now down to the final 8. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the old Yadkin Valley Speedway as we bring you the semifinals of the Cyrano Buckminster Presents Concept Chaos, sponsored by Merch by Meekin.
And what a journey it has been to get to these 8 semi-finalists, as the competition has been extremely fierce as we decide tonight who will be moving on to the final round.
Yes, like you said, Nigel, what a journey it has been, as this has been some of those fierce competition we have seen here at the old Yadkin Valley Speedway. Now, I know you fans have been waiting long enough, so enough chatting for us. Let's get down to our semi-finalist 8, Group 1 driver introductions. With a strong performance in round 2 with 2 wins, he solidified himself in the semi-final round. For Numbskull Racing, it's Numbskull! She finished out round 2 at the top of her group with 16 points and 1 win. For Lily's Boneyard, it's Lily the Dog! Although he had 1 DNF in round 2, he still accumulated enough points with 2 wins and 1 second place finish to move on to the semi-final round. For Flips Racing, it's Flip! And finally, the driver who has done his best to keep his nose clean and finish toward the front in every race. For Dubious Diecast Racing, it's Mr. Dark!
The cars are lined up there on the starting grid, as there you see Numbskull sitting in that front inside position.
Right there next to him, you're going to have Lily the Dog with the rear row being flipped on the inside position, with Mr. Dark right there in that 4th place spot, as we are set and ready for race 1, which is now underway.
Off the starting grid for the first time down in the turn 1, it's Numbskull with a nice lead over the other drivers.
Oh, but here comes Flip right on Numbskull's tails ahead into turn 2, and look, here's Lily right there behind him.
Oh, but Lily gets loose as they come out of the chicane, as the other drivers are still fighting for the lead.
As they come out of turn 4 down the final stretch, it's going to be Numbskull coming in first, followed by Flip, then it's Lily the Dog and Mr. Dark bringing up the rear.
As per expected, Numbskull strikes first with his first win of the night.
And as we check out that track time, let's check out the Merch by Meekin replay camera, as here you see Flip gets a nice run as he comes out of the S-turns, heading down the turn 2, gets right up on the Numbskull's rear bumper. As you keep your eyes on Lily the Dog, she also gets a great run in turn 2, but as she comes out of the chicane, you see she gets a little loose and loses momentum, but is able to correct it just before heading down into turn 3.
And as Lily loses momentum and falls back, there you see Flip and Numbskull fighting for the lead, as Flip gets a little bit loose and Numbskull gets a nice run as he heads down in the turn 4.
And as we watch the cars come out of turn 4, here you see Flip drives his car just a little too hard as he hits that outside retaining wall, spins his car around as he's going to come across the line backwards in 2nd place.
And after the first race, there you see Numbskull is living up to his name as he sits on top of the board with 5 points.
The question is, can he hang on to that top spot as there are 3 races left to go and 3 drivers willing to do whatever it takes to move on to the final round? We'll find out here as race 2 is now underway.
Off the starting grid and down in the turn 1, it's Lily the Dog with the lead with Numbskull and tail.
Mr. Dark is hanging tight as he makes a move in the turn 2 as he's challenging for the lead. They come out of the chicane, they're beating, they're banging. Numbskull is sideways as here you see Lily the Dog, she's all over the place. Here comes Mr. Dark as they come down to the line. Oh, what a move at the very end!
Mr. Dark with a brilliant move coming out of turn 4 as he is able to snatch that win away from Lily the Dog.
What a move indeed as we check out that track time. Let's go back and check out the Merch by Meekin replay camera as here you see Mr. Dark makes a move for the lead into turn 2. As they go through the chicane, they are neck and neck as they come out. They are beating and banging as there you see Flip and Numbskull collide as they head down into turn 3.
And as we switch to the turn 3 camera, there you see Numbskull sideways as his car almost completely rolls over. Backing it up one more time, here you see his top driver's side wheels come completely off the ground, but he's able to correct course and save it as he comes out of the turn.
And while that's taking place, as we watch the cars come out of turn 4, here you see Mr. Dark makes his move along the outside of Lily. He taps her at the door as they come down to the line. He just barely beats her out for that 1st place spot.
And with that amazing move by Mr. Dark, he now ties himself for 2nd place with Lily the Dog with 7 points.
Numbskull still sits on top of the board with 8 points, and Flip is only 2 points behind him in 4th. This group is tightly knit together as we have 2 races left to go. It's time for race 3. Down the backstretch to go, it's Mr. Dark leading them down in the turn 1 with Flip right there beside him.
As they move into the S-turns down in the turn 2, Flip makes his move and takes the lead.
Numbskull also making a great move and he moves into 2nd place.
The cars make their way out of turn 3 as Flip is loose. Oh, he gets hit in the rear by Numbskull.
They're all over each other as they come down to the line. It's going to be Flip taking 1st place, followed by Numbskull, then it's Mr. Dark and Lily the Dog.
Some very close racing as Flip is able to hold off the pack, and he's going to take his first win.
As we go back and watch the replay on this, keep your eyes on Numbskull as they head down into the chicane. His car goes up on the two wheels, as this causes him to lose a little bit of momentum, as here comes Mr. Dark with a great run as they head down into turn 3, but Numbskull puts a blocking maneuver on him as Flip starts to get sideways.
Numbskull now with a great head of steam, he tries to make a move underneath Flip, but Flip puts a block on him as they head down into turn 4.
And as they come down to the final stretch, they are all very closely grouped together, but Flip is able to hold him off and hang on to his first win of the night.
Talk about your close points racing.
God, jeez, Bubba Joe.
What, I say something wrong?
Don't you ever get tired of sneaking up on people?
Sneaking up? What are you talking about? I've been here the entire time. I can't help you have zero situational awareness.
He does have a point though, Funk. You can be oblivious at times.
Oh, whatever, Nigel. You didn't see him either.
Well, speaking of situational awareness, what's the current situation on Cousin...
Nope, don't even speak his name. And besides, we have one more race to get down to, and that's much more important than worrying about what's going on with Cousin Ricky.
But you just spoke his name.
God, Bubba Joe!
Are you afraid if we say his name 3 times, he might appear like Beetlejuice?
Well, of course not. Can we just get down to the racing?
Yeah, Nigel, it's not like this is the last race and anybody could move on with just 3 points separating first from last.
That's my point exactly, as race 4 is now underway.
Out the start and getting down the backstretch one final time, it's Flip leading him into 1.
Numbskull is gaining, but Flip is not giving up as they head down into turn 2. They're neck and neck through the chicane.
They collide as they are door to door heading into turn 3.
Numbskull is all over Flip as they're colliding, heading down the super stretch into turn 4. Oh, Flip puts Numbskull to the wall as he comes across the line in first.
Mr. Dark comes across the line backwards in 3rd place as Lily the Dog brings up the rear.
And how about that for a way of finishing off Group 1 of our semifinals round?
Absolutely must agree with you, Funk, as we check out the merch bar making replay camera, as here you see Numbskull gets a run along the side of Numbskull as they come out of the chicane. They are beating and banging as they head down into turn 3.
Flip clears him going into turn 3, but Numbskull does not give up as he stays on his bumper as they head down the super stretch. They are now colliding as they are tangled up, heading down into turn 4. Numbskull makes a move underneath, but Flip pushes him down into the pit wall, causing him to collide with it.
And what a hit that was, as I'm sure Numbskull is probably seeing stars after that, as here you see Flip makes it across the line, and just behind them, somehow Mr. Dark got turned around backwards.
Well, we'll go to the turn 3 camera to see exactly what just happened as the battle for 3rd place between Mr. Dark and Lily the Dog is going on, as it looks like Mr. Dark just loses control of his car down the super stretch, but he's able to save it for a 3rd place finish. Well, race fans, that's going to do it for Group 1 of the semifinals round as we have tallied up the points, and your 2 drivers moving on to the finals with a total of 1 win and 16 points. It's Numbskull, and your winner of this event with 16 points and 2 wins, it's Flip. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back in just a minute. If you're familiar with the old Yadkin Valley Speedway, you may have noticed a brand new building taking up real estate along our skyline. It's our brand new press box provided by Merch by Micken in conjunction with Wet Work Customs. That's right, Merch by Micken, known for its custom metal diecast signs and much more, has now brought us a brand new line of custom-made buildings for your track at home. And the choices don't just stop at personalized press boxes. They also have your custom garages with working overhead doors and dealerships made specifically to your specifications. So if you want something like that for your own custom track, make sure to go to Merch by Micken. And hey, got one more thing for you. That's right, your eyes aren't deceiving you. From Merch by Micken, it's the very first limited line of Funkhouser Diecast Racing League t-shirts. They're available now in multiple sizes, so make sure to go to merchbymicken.com, connect on Facebook, or call and order yours today, because like the cars here at the old Yadkin Valley Speedway and my announcing skills, they're going fast. We welcome you back here to the action at the Funkhouser Diecast Racing League as Group 1 of the semi-final rounds is in the books, and we have our first 2 drivers moving on to the finals.
And what an exciting group that was, as the fans were on the edge of the seats the entire event.
That they were, and the atmosphere of anticipation is so thick here at the old Yadkin Valley Speedway, you could probably cut it with a knife.
Well, I guess it's time to cut into it as we get down for these driver introductions for the semi-finalists, Group 2.
Starting us off, he dominated round 2 with 2 wins and a total of 17 points. In his 2006 Mitsubishi Eclipse, it's Dusty Miles. Up next, he styled and profiled his way through round 2, and now he has his eyes set on the finals. For DRT 3K Racing, it's Sam Hall. He had an extremely close points battle in round 2, but never let the pressure get to him. In his 2005 Mitsubishi Eclipse, it's Cash Money himself. And finally, if he can keep all four on the floor, he'll be a fast favorite for the finals. For American Outlaw Racing, it's Outlaw!
This is it, race fans, the final group of our semi-finals round, determining who will be moving on to the finals.
Right, you are, Nigel. It comes down to this with just 4 short races to go. Who will be our final 2 drivers moving on to the final round as race 1 is now underway?
As they head down the backstretch for the first time into turn 1, it's Dusty Miles with a good lead over the other drivers.
Sam Hall's got a good run as he makes his move into turn 2.
They are side by side as they go through the chicane, heading down into turn 3.
Oh, Outlaw gets turned sideways as Dusty breaks away. As they come down to the final stretch, it's going to be Dusty Miles coming in first, followed by Sam Hall, then it's Outlaw, and here comes Cash Money himself, bringing up the rear.
Our first race into the semi-finalist group, and the fans are already on their feet as these cars are driving on the edge of chaos.
Right, you are, Nigel. As we check out the Merch by Meekin replay camera, here you see Dusty Miles with a great lead, but here comes Sam Hall with a huge run as he heads down into turn 2. They are side by side as they head down into the chicane. As they come out, they are beating and banging, still right there next to each other, heading into turn 3.
And as they head into turn 3, Dusty ends up pushing Sam Hall up into the wall, as there you see Outlaw, for unexplainable reasons, he just spins his car around, but then you see Cash Money gets collided with the car barrier.
Right, you are, Nigel, as here we see Outlaw spinning around and forcing Cash Money down to the bottom of the track, which slams him right into the wall right there at Bubba Joe's truck. Watching one more time, he gets pushed down to the bottom, just barely touches one of the tires, and a hard hit right there into the wall.
Well, it looks like the crowd killer strikes again.
Wait a minute, is that...
Oh, dear God, no!
The following announcement has been brought to you by the Cousin Ricky Order.
What? You thought you could get rid of Cousin Ricky that easily? Yes, again. Thanks to the Funk for signing the contract my personal attorney, Bubba Joe, so eloquently drafted. The outside interference during our showdown forfeits you, Funk, and makes me a part of the commentating crew. How do you like that?
The preceding announcement has been brought to you by the Cousin Ricky Order.
Oh my God, you cannot be serious! And Bubba Joe, what does he mean you're his personal attorney?
Well, yeah, why not? It's not that hard.
Oh, come on! Where did you even get your degree?
Well, according to his diploma, it says here Oxford.
You got an education at Oxford?
Well, yeah. Oxford, Mississippi.
Oh, dear God.
Race 2 is now underway.
Nigel, please tell me you have friends who found a loophole.
I'll have to get back to you on that as Sam Hall takes the lead down into turn 1 with Outlaw close in tail.
Outlaw gets a great run as he takes lead down in the chicane. Oh, huge trouble!
The crowd killer strikes again.
Sam Hall retakes the lead as he comes down to the final stretch. He's going to win race 2, followed by Dusty Mars, and then here comes Cash Money himself in third.
Just goes to show you can always count on a Mustang to literally shake things up.
Oh my God, Ricky. Anyways, as we check out that track time put down by Sam Hall, let's go in and check in on Outlaw, who's being helped out by, oh God, it's Cousin Ricky's Appalachian Wee-Woo crew.
Well, of course.
Oh, anyways, as we watch Outlaw as he comes out of the turn 2 in the chicane, his car loses control as he hits the outside retaining wall and rolls over. Watching it one more time, he gets a great run out of turn 2, but he carries too much speed into the chicane as his car flips and rolls over. Then he gets struck by Cash Money himself as they slide down towards turn 3.
Luckily for Cash Money, he's able to break free and end up with a third place finish.
And after 2 races tallying up the points, we have a tie for first place between Dusty Miles and Sam Hall.
It's definitely going to take a lot of hard driving by Cash Money and Outlaw to be able to catch up to these two, but it's definitely not impossible with 2 races left to go.
Right, you're Nigel, and with that said, race 3 is now underway.
I'll have the Wee-Woo crew on standby.
Ricky!
Outlaw leads him down into turn 1 with the other cars close in tail, but he has just taken off as he heads down into turn 2.
That Mustang is definitely fast as he safely makes it through the chicane, down into turn 3 as the other drivers are fighting for position behind him.
Cash Money and Sam Hall get together fighting for second place, but it's going to be Outlaw who comes across the line in first place.
And what a win that was, as Outlaw never relinquishes that first place spot as we check out that track time.
Now let's go back and watch the Merch by Meekin replay camera, as here you see Outlaw with a great run as he comes out of turn 2. He slows down just a little bit this time before the chicane, but this gives the other drivers a chance to try to catch up to him down in turn 3.
Keep your eyes there on Sam Hall as he makes a great pass underneath Dusty Miles in turn 3, and now he has his eyes set on Cash Money as they head down the turn 4. He tries to go high, but Cash Money puts a block on him, and this gives Outlaw the opportunity to have a clear run down to the line.
Now, to answer your question about a loophole in this contract, I spoke to 4 separate attorneys. One was even a German, and they all said the same thing. The only way to get out of this agreement is for you to challenge Cousin Ricky one more time and beat him.
All 4 attorneys said that.
Well, yes.
Well, in that case, it sounds to me like you need to find a 5th one.
What's the matter, Funk? Too afraid to challenge me one more time?
You know I'm not afraid of anything, but I'm also not falling for any more of your traps.
Well, if you two are quite done at your bickering, we have a final race to get down to.
Right, you are, Nigel, and with that win by Outlaw, it puts him right back into contention for a chance to move on to the finals.
As of right now, Sam Hull sits on top of the board with 12 points, with Dusty Miles right there behind him. But as you said, anyone can move on as race 4 is now underway.
Down to backstretch 1, final time, it's Cash Money himself leading him down in turn 1 with Dusty Miles right there beside him as Dusty Miles makes a move for the lead in turn 2.
Dusty Miles takes off well, but a hard lick out of the chicane.
Oh, here comes Cash Money moving underneath Dusty Miles and taking lead down the super stretch. They're challenging one more time down to the line. Oh, what a finish! It looks like Dusty Miles just barely beat out Cash Money for the win.
Another close, exciting finish here at the old Yakin Valley Speedway, as we're definitely going to have to go back and look at that replay.
Like you said, Dusty Miles makes a great move into turn 2 as he just takes off from the other drivers. But watch him as he comes out of the chicane. His car hits the inside retaining wall and loses a ton of momentum. Cash Money makes a great move underneath him down in the turn 3 as he takes the lead.
Dusty then gets a shove from Outlaw as Cash Money starts to lose momentum down the super stretch as Dusty makes one more move up top down into turn 4.
Outlaw once again gives Dusty a huge push down in the turn 4, and as they come down the final stretch, they are beating and banging, drag racing down to the line, and Dusty Miles just barely beats out Cash Money to take the win. And as we tally up the points one final time for the semifinal round, your first driver moving on to the finals with a total of 1 win and 14 points, it's Sam Hull. And your winner of this event with 2 wins and a total of 16 points, it's Dusty Miles. These are your 2 drivers moving on to the final round. As always, race fans, we appreciate you being a part of the action here at the old Yakin Valley Speedway. And if you like the content you've seen, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Don't forget to share and comment as we bring you more exciting racing action here from the old Yakin Valley Speedway. And always going to give a big shout out and thank you to all the members of the Funkhouser fan club. We'll see you guys next time for the final round here at the Cyrano Buckminster Presents Concept Chaos.